Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Ari Talks About Music. I'm Ari, and today I will be reviewing this new Lacuna Coil album, Sleepless Empire. Sleepless Empire is the 10th album by the Italian Gothic metal band Lacuna Coil, and sees them returning to a much heavier and darker and more out there kind of sound that was lacking on some of their previous works. The album starts off with an absolute bang opening with The Siege, which kicks off with this really punchy guitar riff, but eventually going into a slightly more symphonic direction. And the vocals are just so grand and so theatric and really just mix perfectly with the epic and vast soundscapes that are created on this song. Oxygen, once again, is just so theatrical, especially with a lot of the vocal harmonies showcased during the chorus, just with how much passion they are sung with. I think that this track also just has some absolutely amazing diversity, having moments of being extremely heavy and aggressive, but also having small bursts of showing a slightly softer side. And then Scarecrow just has some absolutely fantastic drumming and still continuing to feel so theatrical, just doing a great job at continuing the album's momentum up until this point. Gravity is a slightly darker song, somewhat going away from the theatrical sound of the first few songs on the album, which does make it sound just a little bit out of place, especially in the first half, where you also have these weird, distorted synth sound effects that are just really an interesting choice, and I don't think blend in that well with the song or the album at all. However, this track does bring it back in the second half, just going for a much heavier sound that is more what you would expect from this album. I Wish You Were Dead, I think, is a song that really doesn't feel like it belongs on this album, having a much more rock-like song structure, and on the whole just feeling quite generic compared to a lot of the other tracks. The vocals really just feel like they lack the passion of many of the other songs on the album, and on the whole I feel like this song just feels like it's trying a bit too hard to be edgy in some ways, although Hosting the Shadow brings it right back, being one of the heaviest songs on the album, and Lamb of God's Randy Blythe provides some absolutely fantastic vocals that are just so well suited to how aggressive the rest of the song is. Indomina Patrice has this really nice, very fast guitar riff, but outside of that, I think there's not actually that much about this song that's all that interesting. Although I will say that the guitar solo towards the end of the track is amazing, with the outro of this track also featuring some very Gojira-like vocals, which is a really good thing to hear. The title track, Sleepless Empire, once again just feels so epic and theatric, especially with how passionate the vocals are, and I particularly love the drumming on this track as well, being some of the best on the album, just with the speed and the aggression that's shown off. Sleep Paralysis does have some absolutely amazing vocal harmonies, however the super high-pitched scream during the chorus does sound a little bit strange, I will admit. The super distorted guitars on this track also sound amazing, that just create this wall of sound that just blends in so well with the super aggressive background vocals that are literally just screaming. In the meantime, shows off these absolutely beautiful, almost ethereal vocals during the chorus that sound surprisingly good in the mix, even with the slightly more death metal leaning vocals during the verses. And Never Dawn has this very suspenseful, ominous open, but just goes straight into this amazing chugging guitar riff, and really just kind of ends the album with a bang, being one of the most epic and theatrical songs on offer. And so while this album is just a tad inconsistent, it still shows off some absolutely amazing theatrics and just all around fantastic musicianship, and I'm just really glad to hear such an amazing and heavy and theatrical album from this band, and that is why I'll be giving this album a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please be sure to listen to this album yourself and tell me your thoughts below. Please leave a like if you liked the video, and please leave a dislike if you didn't like the video, and remember to stay hydrated.